You can always use a contract to prove somebody that you were right from the beginning, but when has ever proving somebody wrong strengthened your relationship with them?
Hello friend and viewer, and welcome to No Brainers.
It's a place where we get easy answers to difficult problems.
I'm Patrick,
And I'm Wojciech.
and here's an episode about expectation management.
Let's get on it.
What would be the better starting topic for this series than expectations management? And what is the best known example of misaligned expectations?
I think that would be this picture of a swing that's circulating all over the internet. The one where you see a project from a perspective of 12 different people. There's the client's perspective, which basically shows a tire on a rope hanging on a tree. And there's also the perspective of the salespeople who are trying to push them to buy a comfortable Archer with custom suspension system and so on and so on. You can also see the software developer's perspective, the UX designer, and so on and so on. So we have many perspectives, but the question is, who is right?
Yeah, most probably everybody, as everybody's perspective is formed by different factors. For example, past experiences.
You mean like a developer who had problems with long-running tests in their project might be harder to convince to do TDD now, right?
Yeah, right. Or another factor could be priorities. For example, an engineer can care more about maintainability and scalability of the application, where a UX person would care more about usability of the app. And on the other hand, sales people could care more about the numbers, right?
So it's clear now that to deliver a successful project, we have to be able to see the same final product. But how do we do it?
Yeah. From our experience, there are 5 things which usually go wrong, but they are really easy to fix. First thing, there is a difference between what a person says and what the other person understands. As well, we as people tend to talk more about important stuff and forget to speak out the obvious parts. But something what is obvious for us may not be obvious for the others.
Let me tell you a story. Some time ago we went skiing for the weekend and we wanted to rent some skiing equipment. So when we went to the store on Friday to pick it up, we asked about all the stuff that we consider important, how the bindings work, what are the snow conditions, is the avalanche kit necessary, stuff like this. But when we came back to return it on Monday, on the morning, turns out that we forgot about one thing that we considered obvious. What are the opening hours? Turns out that they consider obvious that they open on Monday at 5 p.m. Because they've been doing it for years. But it was the first time we rented there, so we didn't know.
So how do we fix it? There is a pretty simple way to address this. You have to listen carefully, ask questions, and try to get to the bottom of the story. Once you think that you understood everything, try to rephrase what they said in your own words and make sure, check with them if you said it correctly and right. Problem number 2.
The problem number 2 is that we really don't like to talk about problems. Our communication tends to focus on the nice stuff that's going on. And if there is any risk, any potential downside, we try to push it farther along and deal with it after it actually happened and when we cannot escape it anymore.
So let us use another visualization for this problem. Imagine that your car has a problem and you have to go to the workshop. There are 2 workshops in the town, Crazy Carlos and Trusted Tom. If you go to a Crazy Carlos, they're gonna tell you, we think the problem is the exhaust. But no worries, we have spare parts, and in 30 minutes everything is solved. So after 30 minutes you come back, and to your surprise you see that the exhaust is still outside of your car, but as well half of the engine and 2 front wheels.
However, if you went to trusted Tom, what would happen is he would start with the same way. Yes, I think the problem is with the exhaust, we have the spare part, we can change it half an hour. But what can also happen is that when we take out exhaust, we have to check one thing, and it might influence the engine, and then we might have to take it apart to further verify that everything is okay.
So in both cases, the work is exactly the same. What's the difference is in case of Trusted Tom is the communication which happens, which they speak about the risks before they start working on the car. So basically, you feel in control over the process and in good hands.
So let's rephrase it. Talking about potential issues before they happen makes you appear more professional, more trustworthy, and in control for whatever might be heading your way.
Another problem number 3, is keeping everybody in the loop.
Imagine you're experiencing a cough and you're a bit worried it might be something serious, so you go to a doctor. But he doesn't really ask any details, he doesn't give you a proper examination, he just prescribes you a basic cold medicine and sends you home saying everything's gonna be alright. And he might be right, you might be cured, but it just doesn't feel right to be treated this way. When you go there, you expect an explanation of what's going on, and assurance that it's just some minor stuff, and plan how the medicine is gonna cure you.
So in terms of the project development, that means keeping everybody in the loop about the state of the project and its direction. That includes both development team, the whole team, and stakeholders. Remember that everybody has a part of the puzzle, and it's very important to put everything together. Another thing, a problem number 4, which can be greatly improved with good expectation management and make much more enjoyable, are meetings.
They are a source of many frustrations, and it's probably enough to make a separate episode just about them.
So don't forget to subscribe.
Many people dislike them, but we all have to attend them anyway. You know the story. You open Outlook and there's invitation from Bob, and the title is really descriptive. It says project update and it has a list of 5 participants. And you go there not really knowing what to expect, and they surprise you with a bunch of questions that you cannot really answer without proper research. Wouldn't it be much better to know what to expect before and come prepared?
An easy fix. As an organizer, remember to always attach agenda and information needed for a productive meeting. And if you are invited to a meeting without an agenda, it's okay to ask for it.
Just don't go.
The additional thing is that the meetings with agenda tend to be shorter. And the last one, the 5th one.
Don't mistake contract negotiation for expectation management. One is for making sure that the project runs smoothly, and the other is for telling you what to do when it has already failed. You can always use a contract to prove somebody that you were right from the beginning, but when has ever proving somebody wrong strengthened your relationship with them?
Winning an argument often means losing a sale. Thank you for staying with us, and if you like what you heard, please share it with your friends. We would appreciate as well if you could give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated.
You can also write us an email with any comments you might have and suggestions what you would like to hear about next time. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Like Queen of England.